A triage call or a discovery call, whatever you want to call it. It's a 15-minute call where you're going to figure out whether this person is qualified or not to move to the next stage. Now, there's two different methods that you can use and like different tonalities that you want to use for this call specifically. One tonality will be for the people who come to you as their inbound leads and they want to know what you do or they want to know if you can help them. Or maybe you're using sell by chat to book them into a triage call. Whatever for those two kinds of people who are either inbound or came from sell by chat, then you want to have the tonality of a friendly interrogator. It should feel like a little bit of an interrogation. You should feel a little bit more stricter in that phone call because they're coming to you and they like, even on the sell by chat method, they've actually kind of come to you. So you have the authority to be a little bit more aggressive in this call. And I would suggest you actually be a little bit more aggressive so that it sets the tone that you are an expert. But if you're booking them into a triage call from a podcast or a white paper, in that case, I suggest being a little bit more friendly and being a little bit more relaxed and laid back because you already had a really good trust building session. And if you go into high and if you go into interrogator mode and a little bit more of a salesperson mode, it will ruin the trust that you've already built. So if this is the first time you're meeting them, then be a little bit more aggressive, sound like an expert, don't have any of the fluff. If it's the second time that you're meeting them from a podcast or a white paper, or maybe a face to face interaction, then be a little bit more friendlier, a little bit more laid back. But I'm going to let you decide on where they're coming from. So if they ramble, I also have this line because people do tend to ramble. You can use this phrase, sorry to cut you off. We only have a bit of time and we need to get to the meat of the challenges that you're facing. What would you think are the main da 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 in one or two sentences? So if they start rambling, cut them off. You want to be an expert. You want to make sure that this call does not go longer than 15 minutes. Cool. Then you start off by, hey, it's this. Hope you're doing well. I do not like asking how are you doing on this call because it wastes a lot of time. Just say, hope you're doing well. I've got a note in my calendar that we've got a quick call right now. Is that right? Yeah, great to be for being on time. And the reason I say is that right is because I want to get more and more affirmations. I want to get a lot more of them confirming yes, 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 because that then they're in that mode of answering you in short, succinct answers. So if you are giving them short, specific questions and you're asking, is that right? Does that sound okay? And you're getting yeses really quickly, they'll give you shorter answers and more specific answers. They won't ramble on. So we only have 10 questions and I have another call after this. So we just need to stay to time. Is that okay? Okay. My job is very simple. I'm just going to ask you a few questions to work out if or how I can help you. It's going to feel like a little bit of a friendly interrogation, and I'll keep it nice and short to specific questions. If you give me nice, short, specific answers, both of us will feel great by the end of the call. Does that sound cool? You can remove this line if you're coming from a white paper or podcast. If I can't help, I'll let you politely know and I'll try to point you in the right direction. If I can help, we'll book another time to chat about how. Is that okay? Now, if you notice, I'm not saying, is that okay? Or I'm not being meek. I'm not being timid. I'm not being soft. I'm saying, is that okay? And you want to say it in that tone, is that okay? Very straightforward, downward inflicting, a little bit more serious. So, because I swear to God, you have no idea how many of these people will ramble and give you long answers and waste your time if you do not come across a little bit stern, a little bit aggressive, a little bit solid. Okay? First ask, why now? Why me? Get clarity on why is this an important issue right now and why are they coming to you? Because it builds more confirmation in their head that this is an important issue and they need you to solve it. Tell me about your business. Who do you help? What problems do you solve? And how does it work? Get details, all the details that you need for your business. It'll be different, but get the clarity on all the situations and all the problems and the like get clarity on their business so that you can actually use that information to create a plan before you meet them the next time. Widen the gap. This is very important because think about it this way. If someone's here and they need to get to here and there's not much of a gap, why would they hire you? They could just go to YouTube and figure out the answer by themselves. But if you widen the gap, that, oh, you've got this problem. Oh, that's a big problem. Oh, it's costing you this much money. Oh, you're going to struggle if you don't fix this right now. Oh, it's only going to get worse. You're widening the gap. So make sure to widen the gap in every call. Otherwise, when they come to the next call, they're going to feel like, okay, this guy's going to try to sell me. But if you widen the gap, they're going to be looking forward to that next call. Okay. So the way you do this is I've got a good sense of where you are and where you want to be. Let's talk about this category and that category. Now, your business is going to be very different. You need to figure out what are the two things, what are the two metrics where you can show them that they've got a big problem. So, for example, for us, it's so we start off by saying, I'd love to get a good sense of where you are right now and where you want to go. So let's talk about this category and that category. So your business will be very different. You need to figure out what are the two categories that you can use to widen the gap in their head. So for us, it's very simple. It's revenue and leads. So we just ask them, where are you in terms of revenue right now? Where do you want to be? And then after that, we ask them, where are they right now? And the reason I suggest asking them about the future first is because it's a lot more comfortable to talk to. And once they've said that they want to make 100 million, it's easier for them to say where they are right now. But the opposite makes it harder. So it also widens the gap talking about the future and then talking about where you are. It leaves them on a negative, which is a good thing. The second thing is leads. How many leads do you feel you need? How many are you getting right now? And most likely they'll probably say, for my situation, zero. So it's a big difference. And so this is what you need to figure out for your business. You can ask ChatGPT, put in your business detail and say, what are the two categories that I should use to widen the gap to make them feel that they need my services? What are the two topics that I should talk about for my ideal clients? And it will give you a good idea. So basically, what you want to do from this widening gap is doing the maths. Because if you can logically make it feel like a big deal, for example, if they say they want to make 10 million and they're making a million right now, okay, well, that's a big difference. Um, I think we can figure something out for that. So you want to just use that little line. That's a big difference. It makes them feel, oh yeah, that's a big difference. And if I help you figure out this $9 million gap, I'm solving a big problem for you. So you want to do the maths. How is it costing them time, money, or effort? This entire script will help you pull out all of this information. However, you need to do some of the thinking of figuring out which categories to use. What's missing? What's broken? What do you need? What do you need from me right now? Is this a sooner or later thing? You want to make sure you ask all of these three questions because it's priming them to believe that their business is not in the right place. They need you and they need to do it right now. After that, you just do a check-in just to confirm. And when you say everything that they've said to you back to them, they feel heard. They feel, oh, this person understands what I've said so far. And on top of that, it removes any miscommunication or lack of clarity that might have happened from your part or theirs. And it just clears things out. So summarize it and just do a check-in. From what you said, it sounds like you've got three big problems. You want to get this, but this is in the way. You need to figure out a way to get to this result. And you've tried all of these things in the past, but none of them have worked. Is that right? Cool. Then if they're a fit or not a fit, these are the scripts that you can use. Not a fit, they're a fit. Okay, you can check this out, but I want to give you the little tip that's actually going to make this work. I can't emphasize this enough, and I'll talk about it again and again. When you're on Zoom meetings, try to keep the script right below the camera so that you can read the scripts rather than having to memorize all of this. You watching their face or watching their reactions in the beginning isn't going to give you nearly as much control over the meeting as reading the script itself. So what I do is right now, I've got the script right below the camera. You can't even tell if I'm reading the script or I'm talking to you. So the best thing to do, read from the script, minimize their video as much as possible, read from the script, okay? And then once you get comfortable with this, you can remove the script if you want, but I've been doing this for years and I still read off the script. I don't want to think when I'm in the meeting. I don't want to be affected by their emotions. But only when it comes to the end of the meeting will I actually zoom them because I want to see their face. I want to see their reaction. But for majority of the time, especially in this script, just read.